What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, I'm going to share with you my best tips on how you can improve as a man. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Chauncey Jones, salute. Now, I personally believe one of the worst things you can do as a man that will definitely reduce your productivity, your efficiency, and your success is to remain stagnant. With an ever-evolving world, you have to evolve, adapt, and become a better man. You need to do the things you need to do to improve. And that's what I want to help you with on today's video. On today's video, I'm going to share with you around 10 or 11 tips, actionable tips that will help you improve as a man. So without any further delay, let's hop right into it. We're going to start off on how you can improve being a man with what I believe is one of the most important tips, especially for today's modern man. First of all, be okay with being a man. Embrace your masculinity. Step into your masculinity. Embrace being a protector, a provider, a gentleman. Take pride in being a man. I believe there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. What is that? Yes, there are obnoxious men, crude men, misogynistic men, but this has nothing to do with inherently being masculine. Embrace your masculinity. Be strong and kind. Be assertive and not aggressive. If you want to improve as a man, first you have to embrace being a man. Another way you definitely can improve as a man, take what's often seen as a negative connotation and make it a positive one. I think you should be more selfish. Here's what I mean. If you know you need to and want to improve, the first thing you need to do is to be purpose-driven. Have an overarching goal. Have a goal or goals that as you work to them, it improves your life and improves you as a man. You need to have a reason to wake up every morning. Men, we're action people. We're doers. And when you have a purpose that you're working towards, not only does it improve you and your life, it enhances the life of the people you interact with. The better man you become, the more you can have a positive effect on your friends, family, and co-workers. I believe your purpose should come first, before others, before women. One of the best ways you can improve as a man, be more selfish. Being as though this is a style channel, this next tip is near and dear to my heart. You want to improve as a man, dress to impress, and be well groomed. Now you might think I want you to be fly just for fly's sake. That's definitely not the case. The reason why I believe you should be well dressed and well groomed, your personal brand in today's modern world is very important. Your personal brand starts with your image, how you present yourself. When a person first sees you or meets you, they make an instant judgment about you by how you're dressed and how you carry yourself. Now why not take advantage of that fact and control your own narrative by dressing well, presenting the image you want to put out to the world. And that doesn't mean you have to be suited or booted or a streetwear guy. Do the best version of your style personality. And also keep in mind, no matter how well dressed you are, the finishing touches, make sure you're always well groomed. If you want to control your narrative and take charge of how the world sees you, make sure you're well dressed and well groomed. Speaking of being well groomed, let me take a little time to talk about today's video sponsor, Brio, and their outstanding beard trimmer and the one I use every day, the Brio Beardscape. Because of its versatility, the Brio Beardscape could be the last trimmer you buy for a long time. It's the perfect trimmer for just about every part of your body, including body hair trimming. I love the Brio Beardscape for several reasons. One, it's the quietest beard trimmer you'll ever use. Not only is it extremely quiet, the Beardscape is very smooth as well. It has a ceramic blade that is precision ground from a single piece of ceramic. This provides the lowest friction, sharpest trim blade available. And on top of that, I love the micro adjustments available with the Beardscape. It has an adjustable blade that lets you dial in anywhere from 1 to 1.9 millimeters. Or if you want a longer cut, you can choose from any of the 8 included guards that allow you to cut to the desired length of your choice. And if you want to get even closer, you can choose the optional zero blade. Designed specifically for the Beardscape, it's perfect for super close cuts, tighten up your lines, or cleaning up your mustache. And what I'm really excited about, Brio now has the version 2 of the Beardscape, an updated version of their trimmer. Upgrades include an improved screen and display, improved ergonomics, and a travel lock. Now, not only did Brio sponsor today's video, they've got a special offer for the Style O.G family. For a limited time only, when you hit that link in the description and order your version 2 of the Beardscape, for free, Brio will include the Zero Blade, normally a $24.95 value. So hands down, if you want to buy the best trimmer on the market, hit that link in the description and grab yourself the version 2 of the Brio Beardscape. Now, just a little bit earlier, we talked about how putting your purpose even above women will help you improve as a man. And one of the ways you do that, you don't chase women, you pursue them. There's a difference. Let's not pretend that we don't want women in our life, but how you go about securing one is important. Don't chase women. Remember, things being chased usually don't want to be caught. You waste a lot of time letting your life revolve around chasing women. Yes, you should put time and effort into women, but at a limit. Identify the woman you want and pursue her. Let her know you're interested and see if it's reciprocal. If so, proceed. If not, move on. Don't fall into these cat and mouse back and forth games. If a woman is interested, she'll let you know in subtle and not so subtle ways. No, I don't want you sitting back waiting for the woman of your dreams to fall into your lap. It doesn't work like that. You're a man, you pursue, but pursue, don't chase. Now, if you want to improve as a man, you have to resist the urge of being complacent. You have to continuously evolve, adapt, and get better. One of the ways you do that, always expand your knowledge base. With this ever-evolving world, you have to make sure you're always adding to your proverbial toolbox, adding new tools or sharpening the ones you already have. A few of the best ways to do that, make sure you're consistently reading. I don't care if it's fiction or nonfiction. Reading improves your vocabulary, your knowledge base, and it helps you with your critical thinking. Not only should you read, you should be studying as well, and if you can, practice a trade and take the time to add to your life new interests and hobbies. If you want to improve as a man, one of the best ways you can do that, increase your knowledge base. Now, next up is a tip you'll often hear me share on this channel, and I believe is very apropos for today's video. You want to improve as a man? Learn to say no. Learning to say no is very important because it allows you to put up boundaries in your life, and it makes those in your life respect said boundaries. Saying no allows you to choose where and who you put your time and energy into. You get to decide what and how much you do for others. It allows you to be kind and not nice. There's a difference. A kind man is generous, considerate, and compassionate, but he does it at a level that he's comfortable with. And when he reaches that level, he says no. As a man, your needs and desires shouldn't be taking a back seat to others. Learning to say no allows you to give to those who deserve it on your terms, which leads very nicely to my next tip. I firmly believe as a man, you shouldn't always avoid conflict. In fact, sometimes you have to step into it. You see, as a man, you're not always going to agree with other people. That's not realistic. When you firmly believe in something, you have to have the ability to stand on your square, to stand up for yourself. You need to be able to disagree. Disagree and not argue. When you disagree, you listen to other people's point of view, but you make sure your point of view is heard as well. Resolve conflict by being assertive, not aggressive. As a man, especially if you're a leader, sometimes you're gonna have to make tough decisions. They don't always want to involve a consensus. And as men, you have to have the ability to have a conflict, shake your hand, and be friends again the next day. You want to improve your life as a man? Don't be afraid of conflict. Now, next up is a tip I believe is very vital if you want to improve. If you want to be a better man, you have to have the ability to learn from your mistakes. Now, hopefully you're on the path to being the best man you can be. And along that path of success will be many failures. You're gonna hit some bumps in the road. It's inevitable. But the key is, do you learn from your mistakes? That's how you improve as a man. How do you learn from your mistakes? First, acknowledge the mistake. Then after you acknowledge the mistake, analyze the mistake and see if you can figure out what went wrong. After you figure out what went wrong, figure out the lesson you can learn from said mistake. And then after learning that lesson, make sure you apply that lesson as you go forward in life. Because as the cliche goes, there's two possible outcomes. Either you win or you learn. And a very important ingredient in the ability to learn from your mistakes is this next tip. If you want to improve, you have to have the ability to hold yourself accountable. As a man, you have to be responsible for what you do. You can't be a complainer. You can't shift blame. Everything that happens in your life that's bad isn't the outside world's fault. You can only improve by acknowledging your mistakes. You do this by taking accountability. A man who's improving, a real man, doesn't make excuses. Want to improve as a man, you can't have a problem apologizing when it's called for. You have to have the ability to say, hey, that was my fault, my bad. Because a real man who's improving doesn't shift responsibility. The buck stops with him. And one of the ways to hold yourself accountable is implementing this next tip. Make sure you're always a man of your word. It's vitally important that a man, especially an improving man, says what he means and means what he says. If you promise something, make sure you can deliver. It's very important that people can depend on you, rely on you. You want to be a man of respect. You do that by making sure your word is your bond. And on the flip side, you want to incorporate the other tip we talked about earlier. If you can't or don't want to do something, say no. If you want to improve as a man, don't lie, don't exaggerate, don't embellish. Say what you mean what you say. Be a man who keeps his word. Now, in this ever-evolving and changing world, as a man, you can't remain stagnant. If you do, you'll get left behind. You have to make sure you're doing whatever you have to do to improve as a man. And I believe if you pay attention to the tips we talked about in today's video, you'll be well on your way to being the best version of yourself. Now, as always, I love to have your input. Let the Style O.G family know in the comment section if you have some useful tips on how they can improve as a man.